looks very retro, like just the way it almost looks like an old board game.
It kind of does, doesn't it? So, hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play All the Games. I'm Andy.
I'm Katie.
And this is Limbo.
Holy shit, this is from 2010. I am so far behind.
I was going to say, Katie's been playing through this week, because I think, was it on sale or did it come free?
Well, okay, so Inside obviously came out recently. Everyone's been playing it. I think it was around E3 time when they announced Inside. Xbox let you download Limbo for free. So I grabbed it then. And about a week ago, I decided to finally play it, because I've never played it before. It was one of those things, like, if there's a lot of hype about something, I'm usually kind of meh until the hype dies down. Mm-hmm. And that's how I was with this game, but...
it's been a good 6 years, so, you know, the hype's had some time to die down a little bit.
But now with Inside coming out and them offering it for free, I was like, okay, well, I always wanted to try it. It looked really interesting.
Yeah,
so,
it is an interesting little game. It's kind of a side-scrolling platform puzzler that you basically learn by failure, trying to get through these puzzles. And failure, of course, equals death. The good news is the checkpoints are very close to where you failed.
Yeah.
Which is a damn good thing. Otherwise, this game would be
It definitely is a trial and error game, at least the first time you play it, unless you're using a guide.
And even with the guide,
it's
still, like, even if you did have a guide.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's time to get our Limbo on.
Hey, Dad.
Hi.
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 So yeah, it just starts up immediately, I guess.
Yeah, it just dives right in, and there is a little bit of a story to this game, but it basically doesn't tell you.
I never even noticed there's almost like a weird, like, fuzzy record.
Yeah.
Like old record sounds.
Like old-timey film thing, like shaking around a little bit. It's really cool. If you look carefully, you can see the character we are is right smack in the center of the screen lying down. His eyes just open there, which is kind of creepy. We're just a black shape with
He won't open your eyes until you hit a button.
Yeah.
So.
This is, and this is like one of the games that a lot of people use to back up the argument of games as art. And I can understand why. I mean, this has a very definite art style to it. And it's made more for that as much as it's made for mechanics. In fact, the mechanics are sometimes a little crap.
One thing I wish is that I could turn the vibration off on my controller. You can't. I tried.
No.
So it gets a little annoying.
I could see that.
I don't really need it.
When does it vibrate exactly? Like why?
Like when I'm jumping, when I land, it vibrates.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh, that's excessive. It's kind of annoying.
They definitely heavily use the vibration thing. I guess they're, like, sound is a big thing. I guess they're, now it's vibrating as I go down the hill.
Huh. To give you, like, a kinesthetic sort of, feedback to it. So, yeah, there's really there is a bit of a story, but it's not completely told, except, like, somewhere in the description of the game, if you read it, it says that this little boy is looking for his sister.
His sister. The sister he lost or something like that.
Yeah. We know that to be a thing.
Not to knock this game or anything, because clearly I really enjoy it. I've already completed all of the achievements, including the one that requires you to get through the entire game in one sitting with 5 or fewer deaths. I got through with 4. Took a lot of practice, but I managed it. But anyway, like, not to insult the game or anything, but it does annoy me when game designers are like, I'm not going to give you the definitive answer. You can interpret the end however you want. And the guy who made Her Story, which is a game, we haven't played it, but we watched a playthrough of it, and Andy and I spent, like, a couple weeks discussing that pretty heavily, and, like, I really became obsessed with the story. I don't like when game designers say that. I think that's a cop-out.
I kind of feel the same way. I don't mind it as much if they give you a lot of stuff, story and narrative-wise, to go off of to make your decision.
Like, this is one of those games where the guy's like, I'm not going to tell you what it means.
Yeah,
but to me, that's lazy.
I can see that.
Like that,
and I kind of agree, like I said. But going back, I was going to say, the more the game gives you out of a story, the less I'm annoyed by it. Like, Wolf Among Us has never said either way what was going on.
That I don't mind. Because it's a mystery game, and they don't give, because it's clearly setting up for something else that's going to come out.
But you've also got all of that story to consider that's there. And the same thing, honestly, with Her Story. You have a lot there. But the story is so minimal of itself. Yeah. It's not really being told.
They don't really give you a lot to go on. Also, this is a pretty precarious thing.
Because he does not jump that well.
Oh, God. Okay, so I made it through.
yeah, they don't give you a lot really to go off of. And there's people who try to say, oh, well, the story is in the scenes you encounter and everything. It's like, to a point that holds up, but then it stops holding up later in the game. Like this, he's running through the woods. Maybe there's something okay, but I don't know. Like, I want more of this story to be able to decide what's going on, and I don't think they give you enough to make that choice at the end, what's happening.
Like, I don't have an interpretation of this game one way or another.
I really don't either, yeah.
I mean, I've read plenty of theories.
And I just feel like I don't have enough to go off of. It's worth talking about the art style, too. You can see it's very much just shadows and gray. A lot of people have compared it to film noir. I think that's actually inaccurate, but I understand why they said that. Film noir has a very strong sensibility to it that film noir is as much about the characters and the dialogue and the way it's coming together. Yes, it's shot very dark, but this isn't really film noir. This is more of like... there's a German tradition that this is kind of a thing for. German expressionism,
like
maybe?
Sound,
yeah, the sound quality is really good.
Like
we have
when I went
headphones
over
in this
there,
time.
I could hear the flies buzzing.
Yeah. This might be the kind of game that actually is much better with headphones in, because you can hear those little details.
I also like the background. Like, there seems to always be something interesting going on in the background if you look closely enough.
Yeah. And it's nice because, from a designer standpoint, you don't have to go that deep into the background because it's basically like a foggy, misty thing. You can just let it fade out to become whatever it is and become suggestive of things, which... It's a good trick for an indie studio to use because it fits in with your design philosophy, but also kind of makes your efforts go further work-wise. Yeah, you can really hear those flies.
Yeah, what's this kid's name? We should name him. Franz.
Franz? No, this is another one of those Nordic games.
Franz.
Maybe it's Sam Lake. No, it's not a lake. Maybe it's Sam Ocean. No, there's an obscure
Maybe it's
joke.
Frank Ocean.
Could be. Maybe it's Alan Wake.
Get out of my dreams.
That's Billy Ocean.
Oh, that's Billy Ocean. Okay. Damn it.
But get into my car,
Who the fuck is Frank Ocean then?
Big ass fucking spider.
No, there's definitely a Frank Ocean, and I'm gonna figure out what it is.
I could Google it, but no. I like how Google has become a verb in our society.
There are too many ocean people out there.
There's... I think there is a game developer called Ocean. Or there was at some point. I don't know if they're still around.
Oh god, those traps make me so nervous.
Yeah, because as you can see, this kid jumps for shit. Little Sammy can't jump. You know what? Limbo kids can't jump. That's a Woody Harrelson
His
movie,
name
right?
is... What did I say? Franz?
Franz? Yeah, we're going to go with Franz or Hans? Franz? Yeah, Franz is better than Hans. So, you can kind of see what's happening here. This is clearly a giant fuck-off spider that you have to trick it to stabbing the ground enough times so that it knocks a bear trap down. Then you have to drag the bear trap to knock off its fingers.
Cut off its fingers.
Yep. Don't you point at me.
And there's a spider in the bathroom and he's pointing at me.
Okay, is it in a menacing fashion? A fuck you fashion? A beckoning fashion? Is he wearing, like, patriotic clothing? What's going on?
I kind of feel bad for the spider. He gets fucked up eventually.
He does, but at the same time, looking at what he's done, I can't feel too bad for him. He's kind of a dick.
Whee!
Yeah, the sound design is really good on this when we're wearing headphones. Like, I thought it was good already, but now the little details I can pick up. Quite impressive.
I don't know if the spider's really a bad guy, though, because you do eventually get to that point where the kid is actually powering a mechanical spider leg, and it makes you wonder maybe it was the kids the whole time, or, like, I don't know. There's some weird shit going on here.
Yeah, but you also can see, like, up there, it's clearly throwing you in webbing, and there's another one just behind
who's to
where
say
its leg is there.
what is real in any of this? Like, also, the first time I played this and I got stuck in that web, I thought I was dead.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
feels
well,
like it'd
fuck
kill
this,
you.
I'm done with this game.
That feels like a kill state, but... in literal...
Now I get to Q-tip simulator.
Alright, Spider, I'm ready. Poke me in your ear and swab me around in a gentle fashion. Here's a statement I'll never say again.
These sounds are really cool, actually.
Yeah. I like the frogs. That's
Is that
cool.
A frog?
That should be a frog somewhere in there, like a bullfrog. Maybe? I don't know. So you'll start to see a lot of imagery through here with the flies. Have we seen... Well, we did see like a... We haven't really seen any dead bodies yet. We saw one that was cocooned vaguely.
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah.
You'll see flies, and you'll also see these little butterflies that are white. There's obviously, like, everything is either... Like, I don't know if the whole black and white is, like... Everything is symbolic. Like, if it's light, then that means it's a good thing, or...
I would say that, except that right now we're very bright, but we're covered in spider webbing, so... I feel like maybe it's just more for contrast. But then again, I don't know, it's also how they're used.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the butterflies should be symbolic, though, when you see them.
You would hope, yeah. I mean, butterflies typically are when they're used, especially in something like this.
And the butterflies are always, like, really bright.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, especially in something like this where the art is so, like,
you can totally
on
hear
purpose.
the spider walking. You can totally hear it walking up there.
No, thank you.
I don't like this. This is actually kind of, like, scary with the sound.
Kind of
I've been playing it without really hearing anything,
Mm-hmm.
except for the one time I tried to go through the really dark level.
And there is a nice little bit of things, you can barely see them, but like the dust falling off of that ceiling there while the spider is walking and little things like
Talk
that.
about God rays.
Yeah.
This game.
This game's pretty much all God rays.
I love the little bit of spider silk still attached to his head.
That's cool. Yeah, the Foley artist did a really
Okay,
good job.
there's the first dead kid you see.
And it's
I'm gonna
very
take a drink
notably
break.
a kid. That's worth pointing out. So, I mean, here we are
Although
in
this
game.
one kind of looks like a doll, almost. This is like the one that kind of looks like...
A marionette or something, yeah. That is interesting.
Well, you'll see it'll fall down. He's hanging from a...
Huh.
That looks more like... That looks very
Can't
much like a
tell.
doll.
Yeah, because the way the limbs are going, it's like a rag doll. Living in a movie. Hey, is that our first Aerosmith reference?
I'm sure there had to have been one in the past year and a half.
You'd think. But maybe not, you never know. I think we worked Run DMC in at some point, it feels like we have.
Also, I'm trying to go for as perfect a run as I possibly can.
And part of the reason
I'm practically a profestional. At this
Yeah,
game
she
now.
really is. Part of the reason we did it right now, too, is because she had just
super
yesterday
practiced at
finished
it.
that trophy, yeah. Achievement,
This
sorry.
this part also makes me really nervous because those first few trees are like really far apart. Ooh, okay.
And this game will give you some cheap deaths because this kid does not control well at all.
It
Sometimes
does,
he just
and
won't
there
jump.
are a lot of puzzles where, like, if you're off by a split second, you're fucked.
That's scary as shit.
That's actually not super hard to miss that one. Like,
But it just feels like, oh god, I'm fucked.
that's almost like a break moment if
Yeah.
you've played this game enough times. Like that, it's actually really easy.
Its
to
puzzle
jump,
difficulty
to
is so
jump
low.
over that. So here's where the
the marionette
this is
one.
the mechanical spider that,
Although-
that the kids are actually controlling, which looks exactly like the one that you encountered before, and it kind of makes you wonder.
Except you can very clearly see the joints of its limbs there, and there's little white
I'm
spots
just
in the
saying,
knuckles. No, you're right.
it-
You're right, absolutely.
It kind of makes you feel like
Yeah, and there's a
if it's-
treehouse up there too, kind of like.
what's real and what's not in this.
Yeah.
Was that original spider just a memory of these, whatever these kids were doing?
Yeah,
Like,
and there's just so many questions like you're supposed to interpret, but there's so much there without much to go on. But here's a tire
here's an
on
effect
fire.
I really love. After the tire rolls
yeah.
over and the grass is on fire, I think that's gorgeous.
That is cool. And those ash effects.
Yeah.
Those are nice. I've never paid that close of attention. Of course,
It's
there's
also
another person
obviously
there.
very smoky here because of the fire.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
And with all these kids they look a little bit bigger and older than him, so, you're kind of almost getting like a Lord of the Flies vibe from
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
Which raises even further fucking questions.
There are so many questions.
That one's probably not a doll.
Okay.